2021 was the year of the RC drag car for sure. I took a stock DR10 down to the 2.3 second from over 3 seconds, and then I took my breakout chassis to a 1.998. It took hundreds and hundreds of hours worth of work. Let's look at the journey and let's go over some of the things that I think stick out that will help some of you new guys get there faster and avoid some of the same mistakes that I made. Coming up right now on the channel. So what's up, guys? I'm Chad. Welcome back to the Dorky M40 RC channel. We do no prep drag here. We do some FPV stuff. We do some astronomy stuff. We do all kinds of cool stuff. Buggy racing too. Some of that coming for you. So when I started 2021 here, I started with the DR10. And the best way to kind of recap my journey and to help you new guys is, well, let's just go through my journey, because again, I went from running hot 3.2, 3.3 seconds, around 45 miles per hour, to 72 miles per hour at 1.998 seconds. Woo. So the first thing that we talked about here was we started out 10 months ago. So that would have been in January, talking about the Hobbywing ESC, which is still, believe it or not, a great ESC. It's what Frank Ulbrich runs. It's like one of the fastest things in the world. Now, he kind of waffles a little around, talking about how awesome it is, but then talking about burning him up and how he gets them for free. So the jury's out on that. But you know what's not out on that? The fact that the dude is ripping. So my whole journey started with the DR10. Loved it, everything. But I quickly jumped to the king of the streets in March, which is the DRK, the McLean Drag Race King ESC. Still very hard to come by, easier to come by than it was early this year. The number one ESC, I think, for no prep drag period, especially if you just want to dabble right above that RTR level and you just want to learn how to drag and have fun. And you have specific drag racing software that are built for your purpose. You don't have to buy an expensive radio. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You can do all of your tuning in the ESC. You can do that within the ESC, but the DRK makes it better. So that was the very first thing that took me from like A to B, that helped me develop a consistent car, consistent passes, and then I could kind of start working through some of the other type of things. So if you look 7 months ago at my DRK first rips, that's where you're going to see that stuff. And I think I kind of just worked that whole system for a while and eventually got it dialed in just perfect. 55 miles per hour at around 2.45, 2.5 seconds. Simple. If you look at this video right here, the Team Associated, almost 10,000 views. So people definitely are using that kind of stuff. And, you know, I see it all the time now. Who wants to buy, like, what RTR to buy? Do you buy the DR10? Do you buy the Losi? What do you buy? I had luck with the DR10. Your mileage may vary. We tried a few things out, and then the next thing that I got that made a huge difference to my game was tire warmers. I got my tire warmers from Desert Hobbies. The things get totally hot. They cook your tires. I use Reactions now, and they still work out good for me. They actually work better than ever. If you scroll all the way to the top here, you're going to see that I ran my fastest time on Reactions with foam, which I had never done because we had already taken the foam out and thrown them in the trash. So it was awesome to actually be able to use that. For the next couple months up through like July and August, I kind of played around with some different motors and this and that, trying to get things a little bit better. I got the DR10 down into kind of the 2.35 to 2.4 range. But I quickly ran out of tuning ability for the chassis. You know, the DR10 is not a drag chassis itself. It's a short course truck chassis that basically just comes with parts and stuff to make it sit lower and run like, you know, the drag slash and stuff. So about 3 or 4 months ago, that's when we totally switched over and we started working on the 5 Star Hobbies breakout chassis. Now, when I first built this thing, I had a lot of shakedown issues that I had to sort out. I had Tim Barth from Midwest RC, my buddy. Thanks a bunch, Tim, for helping me get that thing together. And I made some tweaks to it, and he had already built one, and I got it together and made some progress with it, and eventually, was kind of happy with it. Now I'm super happy with it. Didn't make the big jump on it until I ended up going with the Mamba power system. Now, in between that, I experimented with the RX8, which everybody was using, and the Sanwa M17 radio. So trying to learn how to use those things and balance stuff, and not really knowing a lot about RC definitely kind of set me back a little bit. So that's the biggest thing that I can tell people, is that hanging around and just learning about RC is going to make your life just easy. Talk about it constantly, eat, sleep, live it, and things are going to happen that you do not even realize. So there's just a lot of little refinements and things that I did over the past couple months after that. Learning how to use the radio, trying to air-filled tires, you can see, balancing tires, learning how to glue tires. Then I made a couple big changes to the car that really set the car off. The first thing was to just kind of look and listen to what they were doing and see what my buddies were doing that were going faster than me. And one of those things was limiting the front suspension, going back to the bigger type of wheels, which everybody kind of likes front wheels, small, big, whatever. But creating this front stability. And the video I have here, the Make Your RC Car Go Straight and Drive Better, is probably one of the most important videos that I ever made, because it shows exactly what you're going to need to do to help make your car go straighter. And that is getting that suspension travel in the front down to like almost nothing, the 1/4 inch, which is what the NPRC rule states, at least as of now. And then about a month and a half ago, things really changed. That's when we ditched the RX8, we ditched the DRK, and I went with the Castle Mamba Monster 8S. And I went with the Castle because it is the newest ESC technology that is out there. I don't know when a newer version of any kind of ESC is going to come out. I know that they are in development, but the world that we live in right now is going to just hamper everything from coming out as fast as we want to. And the other thing is going to be price. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to have to talk about down the road when it comes to that. That's for sure. Now, during the last month up until today, I just kept going and going and going and setting personal bests, having a great car with the breakout chassis, the Mamba power. Everything is great. It's all documented right here for you guys that are new to the channel to check everything out. There's no secrets or anything like that at all. Eventually, we got to the point where we just didn't have enough people to just keep racing. Unfortunately, the money, the time, the fall sports, all that kind of stuff kind of just like lost our local group. So we ended up doing dial-in racing, which is you pick a time and you try to race as close to it as possible without going faster. And I had a super consistent car. I took a lot of wins. Everything was just great. You can see my video in the how to win right here about a month ago, and I'll talk through about all that stuff. And yeah, everything was just great. The car at a certain level and a certain ramp was a 2.1 car every time. So I know exactly what my car is going to do based on what tune I have put into the Sanwa radio. I leave everything alone in the ESC, and boom, the thing is just ready to go. And that pretty much brings us to now, the end of the season, at least for me. I'm still going to be playing with the car. I've got parts on the way to do some stuff here on the bench, and we're going to try to get it out on the weekends. I'm sure we won't be running no blistering times or speeds or anything like that, but that is my entire journey, an entire reference library for you, so you can go back and you can see stuff and learn that the hundreds of hours that I have put into this, it's all documented here for you guys to check it out. And I'm here for you. Just ask me anything. We've built a great community here for the channel, and we're going to keep on rocking and rolling into 2022. And let's just see how things go. Are we going to be running 1.7s, 1.6s next year? Who in the world knows? But one thing is for sure, I'll be out there doing it. So we will see you guys on the next video. Peace.